Ladies and gentlemen and programmers, we're going to do part 3 of CodeAcademy lesson 6. We're going to learn an if, then, else statement. Okay, so open CodeAcademy, go to 6.3, read it, and write down an intelligent question about what you're reading. Hit pause and go do that. All right, so we're on 3. Okay, so I want you to, I'm going to zoom in on this for you so you can read it. Okay, so read this. Read this. Read this. Read this. Okay, and then write down an intelligent question about what you're reading. Okay, all right. Let's go to back to my spiel here. Okay, write this down. There are now 2 separate code blocks in our conditional statement. The first block runs if the conditional evaluates to true. The second block runs if the conditional evaluates to false. What does that mean? Okay, so what that means is, all right, so is filled, we have a variable called is filled, and it is currently true. And so we have our if. This should look familiar. So if this is true, then this line of code will run. If this is not true, this is going to get skipped, and this line of code will run. Okay. So the only way this one will run is if it's true. The only way this one will run is if this is false. So we have 2 separate. So there are now 2 separate blocks of code. One block separated by curly braces. Second block separated by curly braces. I should say if our conditional statement, in our conditional statement, no, the first block runs if the condition evaluates to true. So if this is true, this one runs, and this one doesn't run. The second, if this is false, then this one doesn't run, and this one does run. So an example would be, if it is raining outside, grab your umbrella. Otherwise, take off your jacket and go have fun. Something like that. So it's either this or that, one or the other. Okay. All right. So remember, one block of code will run, not both. So one of them has to run, but only one and only one. So it's this one, not this one, or this one, not this one. So one will run, not both. Okay. So what I want you to do is predict what's going to happen if this runs. So is filled is true. This condition is true. What's gonna print over here on the project? And again over here, now it's false. What's gonna happen? All right. Well, let's figure it out. Let's go do this thing here together. Let's do it together and do it. So what I want you to do is try to make this thing work on your own before you watch me. If you watch me before you try it, that's cheating and lame. Don't be a lame cheater. Okay, so here, let's see, it says right here. Okay, well, write an if then else statement. So we have Boolean is filled. So we're going to write our statement right here. So if, parentheses, is filled. That's not it. That's still not it. Okay, if is filled, and then we're going to hit enter and do our brackets. We're going to print. And what are we going to print? Shipping. I guess I didn't really need to copy that, but there it is. Shipping, and then don't forget the semicolon. And then now we'll do our else, and we'll do our curly braces. And else, we'll just copy this line of code. And order not ready. Okay, so now that looks just about right. Now the question is, when I run this, what's going to happen? Is filled equals false. What's going to happen? Oh wait, what were we supposed to? Well, let's try it with false first. So if is filled is false, what's going to happen? Well, it's, oh my goodness. Okay, apparently I didn't do that right. Why didn't somebody tell me that? Okay, so it's false, so it skips this and does this. Order not ready. All right, now, quiz question. If I change this to true, what's going to happen? shipping. Okay, so it's going to do one, not the other. Now, I'm going to show you some alternate ways you can do this. Now, we could say this: if is filled equals true. Now, I want to so it's the same. So it's basically saying, is this true? And so I'm going to run it. So, and then you could also change this to equals false, which kind of is hard to imagine, but basically, if it's false, then this one's going to run. If it's true, then this one's going to run. So right now, it's this one going to run. So this one's kind of hard. You have to kind of you have to kind of think that one through. But at any rate, so one thing, let's make it true. That just makes it easier to remember. So here's the thing: when you say one equals, that's saying this is now equal to this. It's a statement. This is a question. Is this equal to this? So when you have the doubles equals, that's the question. That's called the comparison operator. At any rate, so that's an option you can do. So this and this are the same thing, just so you know. Okay. Now the other thing you can do is let's go back. Let's go back. Okay. So one thing I never talked to you, just because I felt like we had plenty to learn. Where'd it go? Or maybe it's on part 2. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. If a condition is brief, we can omit the curly braces entirely. So I don't like to, but you can. Okay, so that's an option. So let's go next. You can only do this if it's one line, though. If it's only one line of code. If it's more than one line of code, you can't do this. So another option would be to go like this: get rid of this, and then put this right there. So that's the same. And we can do the same thing with the else. The problem is, for me, I don't know. I just don't like it. It's not as structured, and I can't tell what it is as easily. But at any rate, that will run as well. So just some options that you can do with it. Okay, I'm going to press Control Z though. Let's go back. Okay, this is the way I like it. It's easier for me to read. I like the if and the else. And anyway, it's up to you though. All right, that's it for this one. Go on to number 4.